Oh.
Mr.
Oh.
Mary Finelli. Oh.
You know, it's a big help to everybody around here that you've given up Channel 1 News every night.
Oh, why is that?
Well, you know, we have some regular customers come in at 11 o'clock. And I have to wait until your part of the program is over before I can go back to my cooking. So nobody can leave the kitchen until after midnight.
Oh, thank you. And you're not alone. There are a lot of people who are glad I'm not at Channel 1 every night.
And I bet there's one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Jack.
Hi, Tiso. I'd like you to meet Jillian Coleridge.
Jillian?
How do you do? Pleasure.
My brother-in-law, Frank Ryan.
Nice to meet you. You're both welcome here. I understand the two of you are forming a partnership in the law.
That's right.
That's right.
Johnny, your family is very lucky.
Well, we always have been, yeah.
To have intelligent women in your house is a great gift. But to be surrounded by women who are intelligent and beautiful, that is a real blessing.
Have you ever considered a career in politics, Mr. Novotny?
Call me Tiso, Frank. No, I wouldn't be any good at it. I can't speak in public. It drives me crazy.
I don't believe that.
Oh, it's true. If you come over here and have something to eat, I'll tell you about my the only speech I ever made.
Oh.
Frank, I gotta talk to you.
Sure, Doc. Sure.
Let's go on over there first. Something funny about this whole thing here tonight.
What's going on?
Well, I got this eel stuff spilled over me by Delia, and I...
You know, that dress is still a knockout.
Oh, that's what you said to me the first time I wore it. At Cass's engagement party, 8 years ago. 8 years, would you believe it? How was the suit?
Not bad.
That's fine, dear. You know, I tried the eel. It's delicious.
Well, maybe when I get my courage up again.
Francis, you know, that table over there, that's just the first course. Would you like me to fix the two of your plate?
Yeah, grand idea.
You're doing very well, John. Keep up the good work.
That's what she thinks. Listen, Frank, I want to get us all out of here, and I want Siobhan to come with us.
What are you talking about?
Right behind us. The guy in the monkey suit's the maitre d', right? Well, a little while ago, when I went to the men's room to wipe the eel stuff off my suit, he was standing there with a .38 revolver in a holster right here, Frank.
Yeah?
Is that all you got to say is yeah? Frank, what is a maitre d' doing packing a rod? I bet every man in this place is armed. I bet they're all packing rods except you and me and Roger and Finelli. I bet this place is a bloody armed camp.
You're probably right.
What, is that all you got to say?
Well, you don't think Tiso was planning to have another St. Valentine's Day massacre, do you?
No,
Well, you said yourself he came into Ryan's with a couple of bodyguards, so the bodyguards have guns. But they're not protecting Tiso from us.
Right. Who are they protecting him from?
I don't...
Come on, Frank. If he's a little old Brooklyn restaurateur who wants him bad enough that he needs armed bodyguards, Frank.
Please keep your voice down and listen to me. Now, how many guns did you see?
I saw one gun, Frank.
One .38 hardly constitutes an arsenal. Now, if you want, discuss it with Tiso later. But in the meantime, between now and midnight, keep your mind on Siobhan and her party. Her night, her engagement, and don't do or say anything that's going to cause any trouble.
Frank, for God's sake.
I'm not saying we shouldn't be concerned. I'm saying that you can make a scene about it.
Everything all right over here?
Everything's terrific, Tiso. Just terrific. You know, we were just trying to let the crowd thin out around Joe and Siobhan over there. You know, my mother gives your table 3 stars. You know, she's done that about once.
love to watch Johnny and Maeve dance. I guess when you've been married that long. What are you staring at?
You?
Something wrong?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
You're still upset with me about the coat.
No.
I mean, because I lied about the coat.
Partially.
I am sorry.
I believe that.
What else?
Actually, I think I'm upset because you lied so badly about the coat, and that's not like you. And I get this feeling that I don't know the whole picture yet.
I got unhinged.
Obviously.
I mean, I felt so guilty about the money I'd spent on the mink that I just said the first thing that came to my mind about trading in my Fitch. I completely forgot the storage people would automatically deliver it. Roger, I don't want to lie to you.
What did you intend to do with the Fitch?
Hadn't gotten that far yet. Probably would have sold it. Glad I didn't have to, though, because I like it better than this one. Not just because it was my first fur, but because you gave it to me when we were happy.
Delia, you don't have to make it sound like we'll never be happy again.
Well, I get scared. You know, things are good and then they get bad again.
You know, I keep going back to the question of honesty between you and me, and I wonder why it's so important.
Because we both know the other lies with everybody else. We have to be straight with each other all the time so there can be trust between us.
It's well said.
I'm just quoting you. That's what you always said to me.
Well, no wonder it sounds so reasonable.
It's the one thing that's special between us that we don't do with anybody else.
Yes.
Have you lied to me lately?
Within recent memory? Yes, I have.
About what?
Delia, I'm not going to tell you, at least not today. It's not important anymore because the situation no longer exists. And I don't intend on ever having it happen again, either the lie or the situation. Now, is there anything on your conscience besides the coat?
Well, the coat sort of covers a multitude of sins, if you know what I mean.
You know, it must have been incredibly expensive. I've never seen you so concerned about price before.
Well, I never had anything that cost this much before. Roger, all I want is for everything to be all right between us.
That's what I want, too.
You not mad at me still?
No.
Hey, you know what would be a nice idea? Let's think about this as a party for us, too. I mean, celebrating starting over.
That is a splendid idea. Here's to starting over and no more lies. Come on and dance with me. Come on.
I've got to tell you, I think that your uncle is terrific.
Oh, he likes you too, you know.
Well, I'm really glad. Did you see us dancing? I don't think I've danced a polka since I was about 10 years old.
He could have gone on all night.
I know, I was the one exhausted. I'm having a wonderful time. Are you?
I love it. Are you?
Best.
That's what you deserve. I love weddings. I loved all mine. I love everybody else's. You're so sweet to include me.
Delia, it wouldn't have been the same without you.
Everybody's being so nice. Even Jill. Will you dance with me later?
If I can get there before Teaser, sure.
If it's all right with you, I mean. I'll let you borrow Roger.
On a temporary basis.
The deal.
I can understand why your brother's married her. It's okay. I couldn't live with her on a day-to-day basis.
My brothers couldn't quite handle it either. I wish Patty were here.
I was just thinking about Pat 2 seconds ago. He is going to come up for the wedding, isn't he?
Oh, I hope so. I wrote him last week.
Listen, Frank said to tell you that he's not avoiding you, but he thought he'd better tune in to your uncle and Johnny first, at least for the beginning of the evening.
God bless him.
It's a terrific party.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Johnny, perhaps you'd prefer another Irish to the wine.
Matter of fact, I would, thanks.
Water, no ice.
Oh, you have the makings of a fine bartender.
I have a good memory. You know, in the former business I was in, I memorized whole pages of numbers. Oh, speaking of memory, Frank, I heard a very nice story about you the other day.
From whom? I'm very interested in the source of anything nice about me these days.
I have the same feeling. From Barney Robbins.
Wait, you know Barney?
He and I were next-door neighbors for 27 years.
No kidding.
Yes, small word.
In Bay Ridge.
Yes. I sold the house after my wife died. Well, according to Barney, the first night when you were elected to the city council, he came up to Ryan's to congratulate you and Johnny. And he told you that you would be in Washington within 5 years. Well, after you were elected senator, you sent his wife a silver charm with the U.S. Capitol and a little note saying that you were ahead of schedule for 2 years. He had a note framed. It's in his office.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You remember Marie's charm bracelets?
Oh, yes. You know, Barney was the wholesaler for Ryan's long before it was called Ryan's. He knows that one since he was in kindergarten. Marie Robbins used to have this charm bracelet. Children were all fascinated by it, so she'd pass it around among them.
You still keep in touch with Barney?
He was in here last week.
Ah, for heaven's sake. How do you like that? Is he laying off the sauce lately?
I think we're gonna make it. Hey, let's go collect Mary and Jack. The next order of business is for you to start working on Mary.
You stick with me, kid, we'll have your family shaped up before the night is out. Okay, Finelli, that's not fair. You get to talk to her all the time.
Well, what can I do? The lady finds me infinitely fascinating.
Oh. I remember when I was 12 years old. I used to wonder what people who've been married for 30 years talked about.
And now?
I know after 30 years, we barely scratched the surface.
Well, that is, of course, due to the depth of my thinking and the many layers of my rich Italian personality.
Well, speaking of complex personalities, you know, there's no one to match the Celts. All right, let's get some dinner. You know, of course, where the Celts come from.
Where?
Middle Europe. Middle Europe.
How did you know that?
I made it up.
But you're right. They do.
They do?
Yeah. The Celts migrated westward from...
I'm sorry, you can't see him, lady.
I don't
There's a family party going on.
I want to know about
Look,
my
forget
husband.
about it.
Let go of me. My husband's missing. I think he's dead. I think you had him killed. But I gotta know. Tell me where he is, Mr. Novotny. What did you do to him? My son said I shouldn't come to you. He said you'd have me killed, too. I told him, if you murdered my husband, I don't care what happens to me.
Lisa, this is Anton Pavel's wife. Pavel worked in Nova, you remember?
I know who she is. What I don't understand is this talk about killing. Sit down, Anna.
Don't touch me. Just tell me where my husband is.
I can't do that because I don't know.
And no one's seen Pavel for 3 or 4 weeks. He came over here one afternoon, and
I know he did. He done work for you. Dangerous work. You promised to pay him $1,000. You only gave him $500. And he was very angry.
What kind of work?
I don't know. Something dangerous. Something bad. He came to Joe to get what he owed him. And no one's seen him since.
Oh, I was there that afternoon. I saw him.
Why do you come to me?
Joe only does what you tell him. If my husband's dead, or if he was sent away, you know about it.
What's the story, Joey?
Pavel came over here. Well, you were here. Siobhan was here, too. You remember?
I remember. You remember?
Well, he came over here and there was a mistake of some kind, and he was mad. So I took him in the kitchen. I sat him down to a hot meal. I paid him the rest of his pay. I haven't seen him since.
You're lying.
Anna, I don't lie. When you lie, people stop trusting you.
And I wish you'd sit down and have a glass of wine with us. I don't like to see you so upset.
Come on, Anna.
Don't touch me. Stay away from me.
This is a shame. I'm sorry.
Anna, you understand, don't you, that Pavel hasn't been himself for some time now. And not for a couple of years. Now, sometimes he was better than others. But he'd still get upset and get moody and fly off the handle. And the other men, really, they didn't like working with him. Now, I assume he took that home with him.
He was scared.
Of what?
Of Joe. Of you.
He was my friend. We worked together.
You
for
were such a
years.
good friend. Why didn't he tell you where he was going?
Well, maybe he didn't know. Let me ask you something. If you haven't seen him since that afternoon, why did it take you so long to come and see us? Maybe because you thought he was sick too, right?
I'm telling you, he was scared.
And I want you to go home and get yourself together. I don't know what happened to your husband, but maybe I can find out. I promise you I'll try. But I hope he's all right. George, get the car. You and Glassman drive Mrs. Pavel home now.
You think I'm crazy? I'm not getting in your car with them two. My son, my grandchildren, they'd never see me again. I don't know what he done. I don't know why he was so scared. I wish I knew. I promise you, if I did, I'd tell anybody who'd listen. I'd tell the police, I'd tell the FBI, I'd tell the whole world. My husband wasn't sick. He wasn't crazy. He got fed up, and he got out of line, and you did something terrible to him. I hope you both rot.
I'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
I wish I knew what I could tell you. Pavel was a little crazy. What I couldn't tell you was he had a string of girlfriends, too.
How long he worked for you, Joe?
About 8 years.
You ever disappear before?
Sure, yeah. Once or twice. But never for more than a couple of days at a time. As a matter of fact, Boris said just last week he expected him to show up any day. Flat broke, looking for his job back.
What kind of job?
He was a supervisor at a warehouse.
What are you talking about him in the past tense for? Oh, no, don't shush me up. There's too much about this that doesn't work out.
Not now.
What do you mean? When? When Siobhan marries the guy, then it's too late.
Oh, Daddy, please.
It's all right, Siobhan. If your father has questions, he should ask them.
Sure, I got questions. Like what? Like what kind of family business do you two run? Joe rides around in a limousine half a block long. It's just what your ordinary, everyday Sheep's Head Bay fisherman uses for transportation, huh? Oh, and your waiters. Your waiters are all packing guns. I mean, that guy there, I saw him. He's got a .38 revolver in a holster right under his arm. And your employees, they disappear, and their wives turn up, and then they accuse you of murdering them? What about that, huh? And she says, well, we all know for a fact that he don't make a move unless you tell him to. There are a lot of questions I got, and I want some answers.
You get him. But you won't listen. You'd rather take the word of some crazy woman. Because that's what you want to hear, right?
Why don't you let me handle this? I'm the problem.
Yeah, only because he made you the problem. Johnny, how many times do I have to go through this? The grand jury's cleared me. Jack's stories have cleared me. They never found a shred of evidence to convince anybody that I'm anything more than what I say I am, but that's not good enough for you. What more do you want? I mean, what more do you want?
Obviously, a lot more that you're not willing to give me.
Let me suggest that if you want answers, you sit down and lower your voice.
Or what? Or else what? Or I walk out of here and I disappear like your poor, sick warehouse manager?
Or else you don't get any answers. Sit down, Johnny.
A new original reality series on SoapNet. Mom and Dad are moving in for a financial intervention. It's a matter of life or debt. Bank of Mom and Dad. Moving in Wednesday at 10, only on SoapNet.